ICO haters, you don't have to quit squad. There's still hope. I know, you've spent 4,000 hours mastering a game and now it's a different game. The devs are doing you up the derriere on one side, meanwhile big boy Moy Dog is throwing his schlong around, calling you a basement-dwelling loser. Some feelings have been hurt, and I understand. But in this video, I'm not just going to go over the issues, but actually give you some guidance so you can regain your competitive edge and find newfound confidence in your fresh squad abilities. That's right, I know you can't get it up right now, and your significant other has already remade their Tinder profile, but fear not, I am the squad Viagra you've been looking for. I'm originally a Project Reality player. That's the game squad devs have pinched ideas from to butcher your beloved squad, and like to think I have a good grasp on the playstyle and mechanics in that game, which do in fact transfer beautifully into the squad ICO. And I will be sharing the ancient wisdom with you, weary squad traveller, right bloody now. But before that, a reward for getting this far without immediately writing an angry comment, which I'm sure you haven't done. Here's a fun little clip to lighten the mood.
Not real at all. It's not.
Alright, listen up, you no-good squad-hating scumbuckets. There are a lot of ICO complaints knocking about out there. We got stupid noodle arms, we got crazy weapon sway, we got insanely overpowered vehicles, and we got a mountain of crybabies. Some of these problems are being addressed in the hotfix dropping today. But what you might not realise is that all of these problems actually fall into one category, and it's an issue of skill expression. Stay with me, it'll all make sense. Let Big Bro Slorg wipe away the tears.
You're listening to Slorgs, keeping it funky, keeping it fresh, keeping it 94.9 FM.
In nearly all modern shooters, skill expression comes largely in one simple form: the quality of a player is expressed through their ability to click on heads faster than the other guy. Call of Duty, Apex, Counter-Strike, even modern Battlefields have pigeonholed themselves into this tried and tested formula. Yes, some of these games have equipment and classes and hero abilities, but this is all extra fluff around the core gameplay loop, which is entirely focused around how fast your reactions are and how good your aim is. Old Squad was no different. Yes, there was some very basic squad play and a thinly veiled illusion of tactics, but realistically, if you had a team of exceptional head clickers versus a team of tactical geniuses, I'd wager head clickers win at least the majority of the time. On the other hand, skill expression in the new squad employs a rarely used and entirely counter to modern shooter design technology called
Is that friendly down there?
patience. In the new squad, the quality of a player is determined not by how quick they are, but instead by how patient they are. And this is now true across the game, from individual gunfights to full team map movements and positioning. And at its core, if you're an ICO hater, this is the mechanic you hate. And this is the very same mechanic I will now go into detail about, so you can finally remaster your beloved squad and get a fresh 4,000 hours in. Right. Let's start with the big one, gunfights. It's true, if you sprint up to a guy and pull your scope up like a billionaire's submarine wreck, it's gonna come up real slow. You'll likely find yourself losing gunfights based on this alone. You may also find yourself frustrated by the fact that when you have eyes on the target and start pulling the trigger full auto, you suddenly lose sight picture and can no longer see the bloody thing you're shooting at. Meanwhile, the other guy's shooting back at you. You've gone all blurry-eyed like it's 6:30 AM and your mum's alarm's just woken you up, and your guy's doing his best Muhammad Ali impression, ducking and diving as if you're locked in a ring with George Foreman. It's time to cast our mind back to your new mantra. Patience. A few rules for any engagement if you're by yourself. 1. You do not need to shoot at every enemy you see. If you're in a disadvantageous position, have low stamina, or are using a weapon not appropriate for the range of combat you're at, do not engage. Be patient, find a better firing position, wait for a better shot. Their time will come. If running around without backup, only take shots you know are kills. Number 2. If you are currently in a firefight in an advantageous position and shots are being exchanged, do not panic. If you're engaged, do not feel the need to immediately fire back. Be patient. The guy shooting at you full auto is panicking and losing sight picture in the process. The easiest way to spot anyone in the new squad is by shooting towards their muzzle flashes. Even when losing sight picture, shooting towards the flashing thing in front of you is a surefire way to remain on target. The easiest way to win a gunfight like this, when you can't get a clear shot on target and the other guy is just spraying away, is to simply wait. wait for the other guy to miss everything, then take your calculated, patient shots. And number 3, if you're by yourself, do not be surprised if you lose a lot of gunfights. This is how the game is now. This is exactly what these changes are designed to weed out. In the clips you're watching, you'll see I'm doing my absolute best to hold the line against an oncoming squad while playing solo. But I ultimately die as I'm simply overwhelmed, mainly by one good player in their squad who decided to set up a machine gun and cover their advance instead of mindlessly sprinting towards the flag like the rest of them are doing. Use patience to your advantage and win more gunfights. It's really that simple. Noodle arms, weapon sway, and even overpowered vehicles can be combated with a bit more patience. Let's get on to those pesky vehicles. Are armoured vehicles way more powerful now? Yes. Is this a good thing? I think also yes. I would agree some balancing could be done, but I don't think the vehicles themselves need changing. Slowing down some spawn times and reducing quantities on some maps will be enough. Playing most modern games with vehicles, they often feel drastically underpowered. Even playing Project Reality, most asset users will play scared because they know their asset costs more tickets than a single soldier, and also know that a couple of lat shots from some random guys running around the battlefield is enough to wipe them off the face of the earth. I think it's you, not the tank, that should be scared when it rolls into the flag you're standing on.
He made it!
A 50 cal shooting directly above your head should make your job harder. You shouldn't be able to easily pull out an AT rocket, which is widely available across squads, and single-handedly dispatch of all armor on the battlefield. Some advice: use AT with a few squad mates. Have players pop smoke and run diversions to give AT players a chance to play slower, more patiently and smarter to take a good shot at enemy armor instead of a rushed, uncoordinated one that probably results in a miss or gets you killed.
What the hell is this?
Yes, this requires more communication and slower paced combat. That's the whole point of the entire game. Speaking of communication, let's talk attack and defense. It's pretty clear that defending has become easier and attacking has become harder. And although most squad games everyone will attack and no one will defend, anytime a round does have two teams with strong defense, you'll see attackers often feeling demoralized, finding the whole experience somewhat pointless. The trick is to be patient. Understand that an attack is not something done alone and requires more thought than simply running headfirst in a straight line from your flag to theirs. A coordinated attack with vehicle cover and mortars, especially mortar smoke, will absolutely change the quality of your attacking. Of course, this leads to one big issue and something many an ICO hater will be quick to peddle out. But Slorg, I'm in squad with a bunch of guys who don't communicate and my squad leader doesn't give orders, what now? Well, unfortunately, my friend, you found yourself likely experiencing a bad game. It happens to everyone, even someone as good as me. It was me that died. And as with any game, losing can be frustrating, especially in a multiplayer game where teamwork forms the backbone of the gameplay loop. But you're in luck, for a new meta is emerging, the buddy system.
Are you gentlemen running around aimlessly with no purpose too?
No.
Yeah. My purpose is to follow Slogs.
I'll regularly see when running around without a squad that poor lost blueberries will naturally start clumping together and make spur-of-the-moment mini-squads to have a better chance of survival on the battlefield. You can do this too. Just open up the map, look at where the team are, and go to them. Not only will this keep you alive for longer, but you will have just accidentally put your super soldier tendencies to one side and engaged in a form of teamwork. Failing that, keep the mental intact, go into the next game with hopes of a better squad, maybe learn to squad lead, maybe switch servers, maybe don't blame the game because you had a bad team one time. Remember our mantra, patience. Now if you've managed to watch this far into the video, you're already well on your way to becoming the new Patient Squad player we're all excited to meet. The only thing left to do now to complete your journey is to like the video, subscribe, and leave a respectful comment saying something nice about the person next to you in the comments section. And to competitive squad players who are happy to learn tactics like jumping from helicopters with hat kits and shooting tanks mid-air before falling to their deaths, but then have the audacity to call Squad 6.0 unrealistic and refuse to learn how to manage a stamina bar Counter-Strike 2 released a few days ago. Maybe just move on. No drama, just saying bye. Jesus, that goes a hero.